Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. We are studying the third Mahavakya, Tattvamasi. First, we have studied from Rigveda, Prajnanam Brahma. The truth is defined or explained what exactly the truth is. And it is one without a second. So first we have to recognize Prajnanam and then come to know that Prajnanam is not many, is but one. Then we have taken the next one, Aham Brahmasmi. So this truth cannot be known objectively, and it is not that I am a man, I am a woman, I am rich, I am poor. It is not an adjective, but it is being. This was the second Mahavakya from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Now we are taking the third one, Tattvamasi. This is called the Upadesha Vakya. Here we are given the instruction by the teacher. And the story goes from Chandogya Upanishad of Samaveda, how Ch5, he was good for nothing type, and therefore his father sent him to the school, Gurukul. He studied there 12 years. So up to 12 years of his life he did nothing, only eating and sleeping, lazy. Then he came back at the age of 24 and arrogant, I have done this, I have done that, this kind of thing. And then the father asked him, did you know that having known which everything becomes known? He said, no, my guru didn't know this. See, there also he is blaming the teacher. He is not understanding where he is going wrong. And then the student says, Ch5 to his father teacher, okay, please tell me what is that. And then the teacher takes up one by one themes. And in each theme, he brings back that Tattvamasi, what I am talking about is you, none else. So, in this sentence, Tattvamasi, there are three words, Tattvamasi. Like in Prajnanam Brahma Asti, that is to be understood. See? Like when we say Ramoham, so Ram, then Aham, I am Ram. So that am, existence, is included in that Ramoham in this sentence. So there are three actually, Aham Ramaha Asmi. See? So here also, Prajnanam Brahma Asti, then Tattvam Asi. Now the third sentence, Tattvam Asi. So here there are three words to be clearly understood. One is Tat, second is Tvam, and third is Asi. That means Tat and Tvam, they are not two, they are one. This is what and this is how we have to understand. So let us go in the verse number 5 of the 5th chapter. Ekameva dvitiyam sat nama rupa vivarjitam srishte pura adhuna api asya tadruktam tad idiryate. Ekam eva advitiyam. These three words put together indicate that which is infinite. Ekam, like you all know now, there are two types of ones. One type of one is the one which is followed by 2, multiplied by 2, divided by 2. And the second type of one is the one which is neither multiplied or divided by 2 or followed by 2. The second one is indicated Ekameva Dvitiyam by this phrase. Ekam eva, one only. Advitiyam. That means it is not the finite, it is the infinite one. So first step we have to understand Sat, it is a Sannama. So it is Sat Nama. Takar followed by Nakar becomes Nakar. Therefore Sannam. So Ekam Eva Advitiyam Sat. The Sat, the pure existence, is one and one without second only, but one. See? And what is that existence? Nama Rupa Vivarjitam. All the differences are established through names and forms. See? Names are with us and forms are with the world. So the objects, the watch, the camera, the mic, the light, these are objects, and to those objects, to indicate them, we give name. See? And the names are normally associated with the form. See? So for human beings, we can give any name. Dabbu, Pinky, Lovely. See? You get this kind of names in the Punjabis particularly. Anything. If you go to South India now also, there also the names are Radha, Subramaniam, Shiva. See? So objects are with the form and names of the objects are in the mind of the person who is seeing them. And the world is name and form. Therefore, if we have to understand the word meaning of Tat in Tattvamasi, we have to understand that the substratum, the absolute reality is one, and because of the names and forms, it appears to have become many. That doesn't mean that the truth is lost. Like when the milk becomes the curds, it cannot revert back to the milk. In the same manner, Srishtehe Pura, before the creation, there was but one reality. See, now the language is such that you can get lost anywhere before creation. What does it mean? We have accepted that there was a time when there was no creation. But the principle of creation in our scriptures is not told to establish that there is a creation. But because our attention is on the names and the forms, the teacher has to talk the language what we understand. See, it is something like, before the snake, there was a rope. Now, to whom this is said? This is said to a person who imagined that it is a snake, and because of that he was suffering. For a person who has seen the rope as a rope, to him this statement is not made. See, in the same manner, the one who has known the truth as the truth, the world as nothing but Paramatma, for him there is no instruction required. See? So, Ekameva Dvitiyam Sat Nama Rupa Vivarjitam. On the basis of this, I told you a very simple technique. Make these two supports, formlessness and silence, as the object of experience. Names or the sounds are many, silence is one. Now the silence cannot be heard by the ears. Ears can hear only the sounds. Then what? So listening to silence means going beyond the influence of sounds. Worldly disturbances, noise, cars, or somebody is talking good or bad about us. See? None of the sounds, when they do not touch us, we are one with the reality. Like in the deep sleep. See? This gross world doesn't exist because we are transcended identification with the body and the sense organs, etc. Therefore, ekameva dvitiyam sat nama rupa vivarjitam. So the infinite cannot have name and form. Infinite, formless, nameless reality. Nirguna nirakar. Now when we say the truth is nirguna nirakar, attributeless, formless, and therefore we keep on hating the forms and the names, then we have understood nothing. Then we are obsessed. See, when we say gold has no form, that doesn't mean gold cannot take any form. You cannot put on the gold bricks in your neck, you make the ornaments and then hang them there. See, my friends, therefore, nama rupa vivarjitam, formless, attributeless, that doesn't mean forms and attributes have lost the reality. No. And therefore it is said, Srushtehe Pura, before the creation. Therefore, what is creation? When names and forms are superimposed on the existence, the world is created. So what is the world actually? The world is Sadvastu, the absolute reality. But because our attention is on the world of names and forms, therefore the scriptures have to tell, before creation, there was but one absolute conscious blissful existence. Otherwise, so many problems will come. We have seen this in the 4th chapter, where it is said before creation. So there is time also. So it's a duality. See, it is only translation of our experiences. And one thing I told you a number of times, Vedanta spiritual practice is learning from our day-to-day experiences of life. That is the Vedanta practice. We have to learn. Nobody can tell us. We have to learn. In that Aham Brahmasmi also, the same thing said. Brahman has to know itself. Nobody can know for you. It is a subjective experience. So, ekameva dvitiyam sat rupa nama vivarjitam or nama rupa vivarjitam. Now, another very important point. When we thus start negating all the names and the forms, we come to a point which cannot be negated, which cannot be deleted. And therefore, in Kathopanishad also it is said, Asti iti upalabdhavya tattva bhavena prasidati. So how should we have the experience of God? Only as existence. And here we don't have to do anything. Only be aware that we never have the experience of birth, therefore anadi, beginningless. We never have the experience of changes, and we never have the experience of death or absence. Now here we are doing nothing. See? It is calling spade a spade and diamond a diamond. You don't have to do anything. Ekameva dvitiyam sat nama rupa vivarjitam. Then Srushtehe Pura, before the creation. Because our attention is on the name and the form, therefore the teacher says, before creation. See? What does it mean? The world is superimposed on the pure existence. In fact, existence alone is called as the world. The gold alone is called as the ornaments. The water alone is called as the ocean and the waves. The man alone is called as the son, the husband and the father. The space alone is called as the north, east, west, south. So we will say, before the north, east, west and south, there was space. And what are the space? Nama Rupa Vivarjitam, without names and forms. Then how these directions are born? They are never born. We are only translating your experience. See, how many of us have looked at the directions at the space? None. See, face this direction. If you are doing puja, your face should be on the east or the west and all that. Many people, they ask us this question, and unfortunately or fortunately, I don't understand anything in this thing. Like the Chaturmas is coming, and then in this, what is the Vratam we have to take and all that. Bhai, don't ask me this. If you ask me, even our Hindu months, Chaitra, Vaishak, Jyeshta, Ashad, and corresponding with the January, I can't tell. See, come back to the truth straight away. Don't get lost in this world. Srishtahe Pura. If you do not know which is the Chaitra Vaishak, it doesn't make much difference. It makes a difference if you do not know yourself. Srishte Pura Adhuna Api Tasya. So after the creation, that doesn't mean that the truth is lost. No. Therefore, the example I gave you, if the milk is converted into the yogurt or curds, milk is lost. In the same manner, before creation, there was existence. After creation, existence is lost. Now there is only creation. No. And therefore it is said here, Pura, Srishti Pura, Adhuna Api. Asya means of this existence, of this Sadvastu, Asya Tadruktvam. It is the same. It has not changed. Meaning what? Before the ornaments, it was the gold. After it was converted into the ornaments, it continues to be gold. That means the goldness is not lost, whether it is in a form of a brick or a biscuit or an ornament. See. Now here, unwanted discussions go on. When it is said in Vedanta, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya, and then these people say, no, we don't believe in Neti, we believe in Iti. Arre bhaiya, samajh lo theek se. Names and forms are illusion, gold is real. So if you are looking at ornaments and call them as gold, you are right. But when you are looking at the ornaments and you give zero value to the gold and say only the names and the forms, you are wrong. Without the substratum, illusion has no existence. See? Therefore, ekameva dvitiyam sat nama rupa vivarjitam srishtehe pura adhuna api. So as it was before creation, now also adhuna api tadruktvam. It is the same. This is the meaning of tat. See? Tat iti irjate. See, tat is tanoti iti tat, that which expands. See? In the technically Vedantic language, we will say that Brahma or the Sadvastu is simultaneously the Abhinna Nimitta Upadan Karan. See, it is undifferentiated material and efficient cause. That is the meaning of Tat in Tattvamasi Mahavakya. So what is the Tat? The matter of which the world is made, and the one who made the world, the efficient cause, both of them are the same reality. So what is the meaning of Tat? Therefore, Tat will include Ishvara and the Jagat. Because the Jagat cannot be created without a creator. So the one reality with the conditioning of Maya is called as Ishvara. The same reality with the conditioning of the names and the forms is called as the Jagat. So the same reality, the Sadvastu, itself as if have two aspects. One is the conscious aspect becoming the creator. Secondly, the inert aspect creating the world of names and forms. And the Sat and the Chit, they are not two, they are one. See, this is the meaning of Tat. It's not only the world, but even the creator. And therefore it is said that when you are helping somebody, you are helping God. When you give food to a hungry person, you are giving food to God. When you are worshipping a stone, you are worshipping God. Because the material cause and the efficient cause, they are not two, one and the same. And therefore in our Hindu religion, we have no problem worshipping the Shivalinga as God. And therefore when we are touching the Shivalinga, we are touching God directly. This foundation is not there, and therefore the social workers get lost in unwanted areas of operation. See? Because the politicians are creating all these problems. Because they have to divide and rule. This is the only principle that they follow, inherited from the Britishers. See? Divide and rule. And then the only way to divide and rule is to create hatred. And where there is hatred, the power is tremendous. And therefore it is perpetuated from generation to generation. See, friends. Many places they say, oh, the scriptures are written by the Brahmins and they are doing. No, they are not written by Brahmins. They are written by Bhagavan Vedavyasa. Vedavyasa was not a Brahmin. Then Bhagavan says in Gita, Chaturvarnam maya srishtam gunakarma vibhagashaha. See, these Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, they are not castes. They are varna, varnanat varna. They are, if you describe them, gunakarma vibhagashaha. The one who is predominantly sattvic and engage only in the scriptural studies and contemplation so that the scriptures are maintained from generation to generation. Then those who are selflessly, dynamically working for the upliftment of the society, Kshatriyas, those who are working dynamically, sincerely, but with a tinge of selfishness, and those who are lazy type, Tamoguni, they are called the Shudras. See, friend, and such people, they want everything free. That is not the meaning, my dear friend, to divide the society. Therefore, when we say in Tattvamasi Mahavakya, Tat includes the matter and God who created this world. They are one and the same. The creator and created, they are not two. The gold and ornament, they are not two. So to call the gold as a gold is right. To call the gold as an ornament is wrong. See? When you call Rama as the Ram, it is right. But when you call the Ram as the world, then it is wrong. So when we are looking at the world and we see the divine, we are on the right track. But we are standing in front of the idol of the Lord and we say this is only a stone, this is wrong. See, friends. In this manner, Srushti Pura Adhuna Api Asya Tadruktam Tat Itiriyate. So in the Tattvamasi Mahavakya, out of these three things, Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara. So Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, out of these three, Jagat and Ishvara, they are included in the word Tat, in Tattvam Asi Mahavakya. After that we will go, the last word. See? So, Srishti Pura Adhuna Abhyasya Tadruktam Tadiryate. And therefore, whatever was earlier, the same thing is now. See? Earlier also, there is to be the same rules and regulations by which the nature is guided. I always used to feel very surprised how these great rishis must have established the movement of the planets, which are so many millions of miles away from the earth and so precise. This is how the Panchang is established. On this date, this time, this place, it will go there. Array, how did you know? So this is not the knowledge gathered by the computers, but it is the intuitive knowledge. And intuitive knowledge is possible only when we are one with the Absolute. Then only it is possible. This is what the teacher says, having known which everything becomes known. In this manner, Srishti Pura Adhuna Api Tasya Tadruktam Itiriyate. So this is the meaning of the later Tat in this Tattvamasi Mahavakya. See. Then the question comes, then what is this world? The world is Paramatma. If you recognize this way, you are correct. But if you look at the Paramatma and called it as a world, then you are suffering. Because the world will change. Gold will not change. Names and forms will change. And all the problem is only associated with the presence and absence of names and forms. See? You will see when the rich people, when they give donation, etc., what they expect? Only two things, name and a form. Such and such Sethji has donated so much money for this particular temple or for this school or college. So his form is made into a stone and kept. And then his name. See, friends. So the world is nothing but name and form. And if we are able to transcend the name and the form, then alone we are on the right track. Because with the name and the form only the specialities are created. See, this I realized when I was in the US, this example I have given you earlier. When one of the speaker was introduced by the organizer as, now Mr. Rao will speak. So immediately Mr. Rao objected. Excuse me, Dr. Rao. See, Upadhi, special. How important it is to recognize. The real spiritual progress is losing or giving up all the special status. Like the water, comfortable in every container. Whenever we are not comfortable anywhere, recognize we have gathered a special status. And that special status will demand respect, disrespect, honor, dishonor, comforts, not comforts, choices. This is all speciality. So if we are really walking spiritual path, this Tattvamasi understanding should be clear. So after having told the meaning of Tat, now we go to the next one. 6th verse. Shrotuhu dehendriyatitam वस्तु अत्र त्वं पदा एरितम एकदा ग्राह्यते असीति तदैक्यम अनुभूयताम. See? Shrotuhu. This is another very important thing. I am talking. Now question is, who is listening? Is it the mother, father, brother, sister, husband, wife, they are listening? Is it the man, woman, they are listening? Is it the Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, they are listening? Is it the rich and poor, they are listening? Who is listening? See, Shrotuhu. Is it the ears which are hearing? Is it the mind which is hearing? Is it the intellect which is hearing? Or is it addressed to the ultimate truth? Shrotuhu, the listener. Shrotuhu, deha indriyatitam vastu. Vastu means vastavik, real. Vastutaha, in fact, in reality. See? So, Shrotuhu of the listener, deha indriyatitam vastu. That which is beyond the comprehension of the body, sense, organs, mind, etc. So when we are sitting for listening to satsanga, are we sitting as a body? Or are we sitting as somebody? Or are we sitting as the seeker of truth, the paramarthik jiva? We have got these three options. If you are sitting as a body, all the time attention is only on the body. If you are sitting as a vyavaharik jiva, mother, father, brother, sister, etc., then all this knowledge will be only to teach others and tell. See, Swami is also telling you should not be lazy. But you people don't listen, you are lazy. Meanwhile, the truth has gone further. See, who is listening? And then the paramarthik jiva, the seeker. Here, Shrotuhu is addressing the seeker. Now, the seeker only can understand this. Deha indriyatitam yad vastu. First of all, one has to very clearly understand in Tattvamasi Mahavakya, Tvam is recognized as that which is beyond that which is beyond the Panchakoshas. So, न त्वं देहो नेन्द्रियाणि न प्राणो न मनो न धि विकारित्वाद् विनाशित्वाद् दृश्यत्वाच्च घटो यथा. Anything like a pot which is an object of knowledge, which is subject to modification and destruction, cannot be me. Exactly the same way, न त्वं देहो नेन्द्रियाणि न प्राणो न मनो न धि. All the Panchakoshas, they fulfill these three requirements. They are the object of knowledge, they are subject to modification, and they are subject to destruction. With these three attributes, a pot I cannot be, but with these three attributes, this body or Panchakoshas I am, what logic it is? Therefore, if we are practicing Tattvamasi Mahavakya, the first step will be on our part that we have to learn to rise above body identification. That becomes our spiritual practice. See, this is very important thing, be attentive. in Tattvamasi Mahavakya practice, when we are practicing Tat, the path is devotion. See? Dehabhimane galite vidnyate paramatmane yatra yatra mano yati tatra tatra samanaya. When body identification is dropped, and if we have to come in contact with the world, the whole world is none other than Paramatma. Ishavastamidam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat. So, a Vedanta seeker, Vedanta student, when he is coming in contact with the world, his approach should be the approach of a devotee. See? Ashtamurti Bhrut Deva Pujanam. Ashtamurti Bhrut, these are the 8 forms of the God. So we have to look at the world as divine. Which are those 8 of them? The 5 Mahabhutas, the space, the air, the fire, water and earth. They are expressions of God. Nay, they are God. Tatpada. Ashtamurti Bhrut. 5, 6. Sun and the moon. If sun and moon is worshipped by us, then laziness and indisciplined lifestyle will disappear. See, the basics. There are 3 terrible enemies which we all have to face with a challenge. And the 3 enemies are Alasya, Nidra, Pramad. Laziness, excessive sleep, and repeating the same mistake again and again. Not leading a life of alertness, vigilance. See? So these are the 8 of them, 5 elements, 2, sun and the moon, 7. 8, every being. See? Deho devalaya proktaha dehi devo niranjanaha architaha sarva bhavena swanabhutya virajate. Let us start suspecting divinity in every being that comes to us. And here also we should be wise enough to understand what is the meaning of that. Sarvatra Samadarshinaha. Darshan is same, but Vivahar will be different. See, if it is a child, we have to deal differently. If the teenagers, we have to deal differently. If they are elderly, we have to deal differently. If it is the animals, different kinds of animals. All of them are nothing but God, no doubt. See, but here the wisdom is given to us by the Lord. It is very beautifully said, Na haste yashtim adaya deva rakshanti sadhakam. See? The God doesn't stand with a stick in the hand to protect us. How simple it is. Then Subuddhya yojayantitam. God gives him intellect, wisdom. At this stage, don't do like this. Therefore, Shrotuhu Dehindriyatitam Vastu Atra Tam Pada Iritam. So, with reference to ourselves, follow Vedanta. How I cannot be the body, the prana, mind, intellect, and Anandamaya Kosha. Today, when I was sitting, this beautiful thought came. Maya means modification. The modification of food is Annamaya Kosha. The modification of air is Pranamaya Kosha. See? Then modification of knowledge is Manomaya Kosha. Modification of personality or expression is the Vijnanamaya Kosha. 4 of them. And the most important, modification of Ananda, Brahmananda. Modification of Brahmananda is Anandamaya Kosha. And therefore, Anandamaya Kosha is not Brahmananda. It is a modification. Therefore, it is Ekadeshiya. It is not every time, only during the sleep or under certain conditions. When your desire is fulfilled, you are happy. That time, Anandamaya Kosha is the expression or experience. And that is why it is said, when a seeker goes to sleep, Shvetaketu was told this. When a seeker goes to sleep, he doesn't go to Anandamaya Kosha, but he goes to Brahmananda. So when we are dealing with ourselves, we have to practice Vedanta sadhana. So first sadhana will be how I cannot be the body. What does it mean? Only through understanding. The simplest method I will tell you. We are not knowing that we are a body. We are just accepting blindly. मान लिया है, जाना नहीं है. I am body. If only we have imaginary accepted that I am this body, then why not follow the same technique? Now start imagining that I am divine. Thereafter, as we started accepting ourselves to be body, thereafter we are living as the body. Now same way, now start imagining I am divine. Now start playing how a divine will be. What is the expression of the body? Annamaya Kosha. It is a modification of the anna, the food. What is the modification of the food? It remains for some time, it is petrified and it is destroyed. If you keep the food outside, not in the fridge, then within 3-4 hours it gets rotten and you have to throw. Now our body, which is made out of that kind of food, how do we expect it to remain all the time? It is to rot and get out. Yes, understood. When we accept ourselves to be body, this is bound to happen. Accept it gracefully and be happy. Now the second experiment. If we accept ourselves to be divine, now again, what is the expression of the divinity? Expression of divinity is only bliss, nothing else. Then what will be our spiritual practice? Be happy. You don't know anything. Going round and round and round, ultimately you boil down to be happy. This is the truth, my dear friends. See, Shrotuhu dehindriyatitam vastu atra tvam pada eritam. By this word tvam in the Tattvamasi Mahavakya, this is the meaning of tvam. That which is expressing through the Panchakoshas, but not coming under the influence of any Panchakosha, is the truth. Now see, we don't have to do anything. The problem is this. We want to do something. Because we are addicted to doing something or the other. Only observe. Colors and forms cannot influence the vision. What sadhana will you do? Sense organs do not influence the mind. Mind doesn't influence the intellect. Intellect doesn't go back to Anandamaya Kosha, but goes back to Paramatma. So when we are on the verge of sleeping, that time there is a bifurcation. Either we can get into the Prakriti and sleep as somebody. So if we sleep as a husband, we will wake up as a husband. If we sleep as a sun, we will wake up as a sun. But if we sleep as the divine, then we will wake up as divine. And what is the waking of the divine? You are happy. So this particular moment of getting into sleep, one has to be extremely aware. I am going to sleep as what? As a body? Oh, there is too much of pain, pain here, pain there, oh God. Next day you get up again. Oh, last night I could not sleep, it was so painful. You go to sleep as you have to catch the morning flight. Whole night you will be only waking up and going to the airport. See, friends. And you merge in the absolute. This is how the Tvam-pada sadhana is done. First, therefore, is giving up body identification. Therefore, Shrotuhu dehendriyatityam vastu atra tvat pada iritam. Now, it is for this purpose to tell us that we are someone other than the body. And therefore, that someone other than the body is indicated as Jiva. And except in Vedanta, nowhere they tell who is the Jiva. And we accept it blindly. What do you mean by Jiva? Oh, Jiva is Jiva, who goes from one body to another body. But what is that Jiva? Nobody tells you this. Neither the Sankhya, nor the Yoga, nor the Upasana, nor the Karma Kanda, nor all these other religions. Other religions hardly have any philosophy. They are only dictation and crime. More of a political force rather than a spiritual force. See, friends. Thus, when we are working on Tvam-pada, we have to first get rid of the body identification, then you are Jiva, then find out who is Jiva. Then the Jiva is Paramatma expressing through the body. That expression is called a Jiva, and it is a common factor. Like any man getting to any woman is called as husband. So husband is just a phenomena. It is a common noun. In the same manner, Paramatma expressing through any body is Jiva. It is the Jiva Bhava. This is what Bhagavan says in 15th chapter. Mama eva amshaha jiva loke jiva bhutas sanatanaha. So all the living beings are Jiva. Therefore, Jivo jivasya jivanam. Plants and animals, everywhere there is Jivan, life. And the one who is eating, they are also life. So unless they eat each other, life cannot be possible. Jivo jivasya jivana. See, friends. So when we come to the Jiva factor, then we start real inquiry. Is Jiva an individual or is the Jiva as an expression? See? Jiva is Abhivyakti or Vyakti. Be very attentive. When we take Jiva as Vyakti, individuality, we are caught up in the Vijnanamaya Kosha downwards. We are caught up there. So Vijnanamaya Kosha getting identified with the mind, becoming happy, miserable. Getting identified with the prana, becoming hungry, thirsty. Getting identified with the body, becoming young, old man, woman, etc. But when this Vijnanamaya Kosha has discarded identification with these three lower koshas, and thereafter he is living, he is no more dead, then he is graduating from the Jiva to the Jivana, from the individual soul to the principal life. So life-wise, we are all common. See? Like everybody married to a woman is a husband. The husband is a common noun. Similarly, life is a common noun. But instead of recognizing the life principle, we get lost in the individuality. See? And because our identification with the body is firm, see? Therefore, Shrotuhu Dehendriyatitam Vastu Atra Tam Pada Iritam Ekata Grayate Asi Iti. See? And therefore, Ekata, the Tatpada which is supporting the objective world, Tatpada which is the creator of this world, and Twampada, like the world is inert creation, the Jiva is the sentient creation, and the creator is one. And when his total potentiality is involved, called Maya, he is called as Ishvara. When the partial potentiality is involved, he is called a Jiva, and the partial potentiality is called as the Kundalini Shakti. It is the same Shakti. See? Like electricity is the total Shakti. Through the bulb, it is the light. Through the fan, it is the magnetic field. See how important it is? In the same manner, Paramatma and his infinite potentiality. And this potentiality is described in Vedanta as Avyakta Namni Paramesha Shakti. It is also called as the Maya. And here the people take a wrong turn. Shankaracharya was Mayavadi. No. Words are different. You are not understood, therefore you talk like this. And there it is said, can this Maya remain independent of Paramatma? No. Therefore it is not there. But we are seeing the effect of this Maya. Yes. Therefore it is there. Come on. Then what it is? San api, asan api ubayatmikano. Although it is, yet it is not. And therefore it is both. Now how to understand this? Karyanumeya sudhiyaiva gamya. When the energy is manifest, it is recognized from the effects. See? If you see our various goddesses, for example, Kali Mata. Kali Mata is the divine energy of Lord Shiva. So when Kali Mata becomes manifest, Shiva is under her feet. Because he is the substratum. Without the Shiva, Kali Mata has no existence. But when she becomes manifest, Shiva has to remain unmanifest. And when Shiva is sitting for meditation, there is no Kali around. Because now that Kali is absorbed in him. It is something like in a piece of wood, there is fire, element fire. Because of that element fire, that piece of wood has got a particular shape. Now that element fire is invoking the burning power of the element fire. So when the element fire invokes the burning power, then the same wood where the element fire was there, it is reduced to ashes. Why? Because when the potentiality, the Shakti becomes manifest, the substratum, the fire becomes unmanifest. Here fire means the element fire. See? It is so straight, friends. It's not difficult at all. So, ekata grayate asi iti. Therefore, the same reality with the conditioning of the Maya is called as Ishvara. With the conditioning of the names and forms is called as the Jagat with the conditioning of the avidya is called as Anandamaya Kosha. But that doesn't mean Anandamaya Kosha and Ishvara are separate. No. They are only for the sake of explanation. Like the husband and father, they are not two. References are different. See? In this manner, when we slowly come to discover that which is expressing as Jiva through the Panchakoshas, that which is expressing as names and forms through the world, that which is expressing as the creator of the world, all three of them are the same reality. They are not two. So, Tvam is the Jiva Bhava and the Tat is the Paramatma. Therefore, Jiva never becomes Ishvara. When the wave dies, it never becomes ocean. Ocean can become a wave, wave cannot become an ocean. Then what happens to wave? She goes back to the water. Therefore, ekata grayate asiti tada aikyam anubhuyatam. Therefore, the seeker should now try to experience this one without a second. Now be very attentive. Out of these three expressions of the same reality, the infinite Brahman, one is the Jiva, second is Jagat, and third is the Ishvara. Now we have no control over the Jagat. We can do nothing about it. Then what is to be done? Submit to the laws of nature. You have to submit. Dharmo rakshati rakshita. If you follow the laws of electricity, you are protected. If you follow the law of gravity, you are protected. If you follow the laws of the flow of waters, you are protected. Therefore, let our life be in tune with the divine, the world. See? Let our life be in tune with the world. This is first step. And for this, there is no option. See? Then, second thing, Ishvara, who created this world. What is to be done? Only upasana and devotion. And what is that? O Lord, thy will be done. Hari Ichha. See? So with the world, accept the world as it is. With the God, O God, thy will. Whatever you decide is okay for me. You know better than me because you have promised. Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam. What is needed will be given. What is not needed will be taken away. I know that. Two things. Now comes to yourself, Jiva. Now Jiva will practice, first of all, body disidentification. How to practice that? Two things. Number one, possession and possessiveness of the worldly things should not be the criteria of our life. And second thing, creating relations and getting lost in the relations. So lead your life according to the requirement, but do not get entangled in them. See? So continue as it is required, as mother, father, husband, wife, friends, continue. But don't get entangled in anything. See? When these two things are practiced, what we call in Patanjali as Yama Niyama. then slowly the burden of the body identification will be reduced. And how do we know it is reduced? Burden of body identification. Laziness, excessive sleep, and repeating the same mistake again and again will not happen. Alasya Nidra Pramad will not be a big issue for us. In this manner, ekada grayate asi iti tad aikyam anubhuyatam. And when we thus come to discover our divine nature, then from the absolute, from the water's point of view, the ocean, the waves, and the bubbles all are nothing but me. So, the identification or rather identity between the Tat and the Tvam ultimately leads to the Absolute. Like when the knower and the known, they merge, only knowledge happens. Knowledge without the knower known difference is the truth. Experience without experiencer and experienced is the truth. Hold on to this and do not create an experiencer in your life. Otherwise, oh, yesterday's meditation was good, today it was not there. You are far away from the truth. See, you don't have to repeat. Nothing is repeated in the world. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.